Advances in cancer prevention and treatments are improving survival rates in the U.S. According to the American Cancer Society, more than 14 million Americans with a history of cancer were alive on January 1st of last year. Kay Clark, a breast cancer survivor who now works for San Diego's American Cancer Society, and Dr. Eric Rowland, an oncologist and palliative care provider at UC San Diego Moore's Cancer Center. Welcome to Evening Edition.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, Kay, you were diagnosed and treated for breast cancer back in 1992, and now you help other women who are breast cancer survivors or who have breast cancer. How have you seen the treatment and follow-up change over these last 20 years?
Immensely. Treatment has really taken on some new steps, which the doctor will address. I'm not going to get into the medical aspect, but I think that we are seeing people survive a lot longer with a lot better quality of life.
Now, you immediately, I understand, got involved with the program at the American Cancer Society called Reach to Recovery.
Yes.
How did that involvement with other breast cancer survivors, how did it affect your treatment and your recovery?
When I first got diagnosed and I had a visit from a Reach to Recovery woman, that it gave me a very uplifting feeling, as though if I was looking at somebody who survived, I could survive it too. That she had had a very full life after cancer, and that gave me a great deal of hope. And that's what I wanted to give back to women with the program.
And I understand you're still friends after all these years
Yes.
with that person.
Yes, we are.
Dr. Rowland, so Kay is a 22-year cancer survivor, and more people are surviving cancer, in fact, as we see. How do survival rates compare today to when you began practicing medicine like just a decade ago in general?
Well, over my lifetime, for overall, looking at all cancer types, 5-year survival has increased from 50% to almost 65%. But I think it's important to look at cancer and know that cancer is many types of diseases. It's not a single disease. And so we have to know the subtleties of the differences between all those cancer types, including their treatment, the symptoms that people have when they first present with their cancer, and then how we continue to follow and support those patients.
And so that disparity, and we're aware of that. Some cancers, of course, don't have as much survivability as others. Leukemia, sometimes you can be treated and survive for a long time. What accounts for that, the disparity? Is it the actual type of cancer or the lack of treatments? What is it exactly?
So traditionally, we've divided cancer based on where the cancer initially occurs. But I think with time, we're learning that it's much more complicated than that, and that actually there's genetic mutations that are shared between, say, breast cancer and colon cancer. The more we learn, the more we realize how complicated this really is. And we are finding more and more information to the point that we're actually walking on a bridge as we're building it in terms of approaching with new tools.
So just discovering as we go along. And Kate, in thinking about this long-term impact of surviving cancer and that a lot of people are living longer, I've heard the term sequela. What does that mean?
That's a hard term. I would give that to you.
All right,
to
Dr.
define.
Rowland, what does that mean?
For me, that's the consequences of cancer, and that encapsulates broad aspects, including physical, social, how that's impacted your job, your ability to function, how you identify yourself, and what brings your life meaning.
Then let me continue with you then. Then how did cancer impact you? How did it change your life?
It changed my life in a lot of different ways. I took on a different career, had volunteered for ACS and became a staff person, and that led me to a whole different aspect of looking at my cancer survivorship.
And we'll have to end on this, and Dr. Rowland, speaking from personal experience, I'm a 3-year cancer survivor from breast cancer, and after treatment is finished, you experience this sort of just abrupt stop of having all this medical attention and these daily meetings. And you can be left with this worry that your cancer is going to come back. If I eat this, if I drink this, what's going to cause it to come back? But I understand that you have a new after cancer survivor guide that you're involved with. Can you tell me about that?
So across the nation, there's a focus on survivorship and developing guidelines and how we follow patients longitudinally. And a lot of that is just becoming informed, knowing what your resources are, and staying connected, but not totally overwhelmed with information, because we really want people to live life and check in every once in a while, but not let it totally rule their life.
All right. Unfortunately, we're out of time. Dr. Eric Rowland and Kay Clark, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.